Metal ride. When a story comes to you, pay attention. Point it in the right direction and blast. It's the porky-puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. Hook the boom ball and tow it beneath the puff. Maybe do that again later. End of the line. gun it. the quacks. Ain't that cute? A tubing playing with quacks. Can you feel it? It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Says you should take it easy. Goop. There it is, the Tree of Life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. The night could be fun. Plastic scrap like that over there could be useful. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. It's important to stay grounded. You share the same fate as the tree. Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern worldeater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the worldeater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind.
Wherefore, where?
You can't wait to get out, can you? Let's see. Says the state of the goo has grossed over time. It's a miracle anything. It's hard for all sorts of guppo to breathe. If it wasn't for Gil, who gives them a good scrub now and then, they'd probably be dead and gone. Figures that's the only way they get to live. Says there's a lot of shore, but you look for a clean part of it and Gil will be there with you. He tries to clean things up to give the guppo a chance. Good to see someone care about a dying world. Figures Gil would appreciate that, and so would the guppo. Ready to roll? The day is calling. Look at those notices on the board. Too bad the gnotes couldn't read them. If you wander around here, you might find Noko. She just loves those gnotes. Once the power ran out, it made sense to ride gnotes, and that tradition continued through the years. Nope. You still have to feed them, but food's easier to find. Watch your step here, and you might find tracks of... Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again. She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid. Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark. But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been. Seems reluctant to even say its name. It's become personal to her too, since it's taken so many of her innocent gnotes as prey. Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be. She sees you're back to buck with Lupa Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least. She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still. Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like, until it's worn smooth. But you get... Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting Lupa Lupin to pay for what he did to her gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
That's so bright!
Seriously, you like the shine? Dark is...
Lie to yourself all you like, darling.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones. You can't do everything you want, can't go everywhere, can't see everything, only what you can. So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the gnotes die with it. Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out. Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the nights too. Says that's only for a little while, and when your eyes clear, you see everything even better than before. But let's not speak of that now. She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow. The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you. You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the worldeater. It's the most magnificent creature she's ever encountered, a creature straight out of a dream or story. Don't trip it, just keep moving. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby.
le mahoriu tulu Adrienku.
Wishes you would just give up and let the world...
Nejen le mayagmanrunab.
The end is coming to the world, and everything else. You found Camp Mosserk. Look for the bandits. Ah, see that e-waste? Always handy. That's the good stuff. Feeling better. You're in pain. If only you could jump as far as you can look. That'll come in handy. Someone could probably make good use of that plastic scrap over there.